Hang on. This meeting is now being recorded. If you don't wish to be recorded, please turn off the camera and your audio. We're going to start there with Matthew doing the Unclist. If you want to go ahead and start presenting, Matthew.
Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Teacher, foe destroyer, thus gone, fully and perfectly awakened Buddha, endowed with knowledge and good conduct, gone to bliss, knower of the world, helmsman of ordinary beings to be tamed, supreme one, teacher of all gods and men, Buddha, foe destroyer, glorious victorious one, Shakyamuni, to you I pay homage, make offerings, and go for refuge. Teacher, foe destroyer, thus gone, fully and perfectly awakened Buddha, endowed with knowledge and good conduct, gone to bliss, knower of the world, helmsman of ordinary beings to be tamed, supreme one, teacher of all gods and men, Buddha, foe destroyer, glorious victorious one, Shakyamuni, to you I pay homage, make offerings, and go for refuge. Teacher, foe destroyer, thus gone, fully and perfectly awakened Buddha, endowed with knowledge and good conduct, gone to bliss, knower of the world, helmsman of ordinary beings to be tamed, supreme one, teacher of all gods and men, Buddha, foe destroyer, glorious victorious one, Shakyamuni, to you I pay homage, make offerings, and go for refuge. When you, chief of humans, were born, you took 7 steps on this great earth, and you said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise at that time, I prostrate. Completely pure body, supremely fine form, ocean of wisdom like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, supreme protector, to you I prostrate. Endowed with the supreme marks, a face like the stainless moon, a color like gold, to you I pay homage. The 3 worlds are not like you, who was free from dust. Matchless one, endowed with knowledge, to you I prostrate. Protector, endowed with great compassion, omniscient teacher, feel devotion like merits and good qualities, to the thus gone I prostrate. Through purity, free from attachment, through virtue, releases from the evil gone realms, unique, supreme, ultimate meaning, to the Dharma that brings peace I prostrate. From freedom, teaching the path, well abiding in the pure trainings, holy field endowed with good qualities, to the Sangha also I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous action. Accumulate virtue and goodness, subdue your own mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Like a star, a mirage, a lamp, illusions, drops of dew, bubbles, dreams, lightning, and clouds. Look at all conditioned phenomena as such. Due to this merit, having attained the state of the all-seeing, and thereby subduing the enemy of faults, may I liberate migrators from the ocean of existence, stirred by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I take refuge until I am enlightened, in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the positive potential I create by listening to the Dharma, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the joyful happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from holding some close and others distant. Respectfully, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I confess all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the virtuous actions of all ordinary and noble beings. Please, Buddha, remain as our guide and turn the wheel of Dharma until samsara ends. Through the merit created by myself and others, may the 2 bodhicittas ripen, and may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. This offering I make of a precious jeweled mandala, together with other pure offerings and wealth and the virtues we have collected throughout the 3 times with our body, speech, and mind. O my masters, my yidams, and the 3 precious jewels, I offer all to you with unwavering faith. Accepting these out of your boundless compassion, please send forth waves of your blessings. Yidam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niratiyami. The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya triple gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagavan was dwelling on a massive vulture's mountain on Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on and up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on and up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as the truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayate, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi, soha. Now we'll do that 20 more times silently. Tayate, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi, soha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan.
All right. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. If you do not wish to be recorded, please turn off your mic and your camera or leave. If you do wish to stay, then your presence will be recorded. So our speakers today are Colleen Wong and Lindsay Parkinson, who have joined us at this time. I think Colleen is going to go first. All right, I'm getting a head nod from Lindsay. So what you want to do is, Colleen, if you just want to unmute yourself and go ahead and start talking. And I know you have a video, but I don't know when you want to show that video.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I'm trying to.
Oh, now you froze. I'm having some technical difficulties. Just pull her over, Lindsay. Colleen, sometimes it helps if you disconnect. There we go. Okay. So she disconnected. We'll get her back. I hope everyone had a good holiday. Good. Thumbs up for a good holiday. Thumbs down for a very loud and explosive holiday. All right, we're gonna see if we can get the technical situation fixed. Hey, Lindsay, do you want to tell us what we're doing or some of the things that we need for your presentation so we can gather those while we're waiting?
Yes, I can do that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're just switching the internet so that Colleen's will work. That's super helpful, right? So today, yeah, we're talking about mindful self-compassion, and we're going to do a little fun, playful art directive that we hope you can join along. You don't need to have fancy art materials. You don't need to be an artist. We're going to use colored markers, crayons, colored pencils, whatever you have around you in the house. Some paper would be good, unless you want to draw on the wall. I always got in trouble for that when I was little. Yeah, I want you guys to be playful and enjoy this time, and we'll have a little discussion. And we're going to actually draw our inner critic. We all have an inner critic inside of us, that voice that sometimes puts us down. And we're going to create an image of that inner critic, and then we're going to have a little dialogue about that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Do you want to just come on?
Yeah, I might.
We're going to share the screen. I think that'll work better.
Okay.
That might work better.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Like having technical difficulties. My computer kicked me off the internet. I can't seem to get back on. So, yes, what Lindsay said. We're going to talk about self-compassion. I think self-care's had a lot of buzz out there in the media lately as far as well-being, and I do think self-care is really important. I work with a lot of new moms, and so that's one of the most important things, but most people think of self-care as bubble baths and manicures, and I have nothing against those. But I think one of the most important elements of self-care is just how we speak to ourselves on a regular basis. And so We are talking about the critical inner voice today. Where did page 1 go? I don't have page 1. There it is. Okay. So, what is the critical inner voice? It's that voice in your head, that invisible responder, the captain of your brain ship. It's like that sneaky little jerk that tells you all the terrible things that you believe about yourself. It erodes your self-confidence. It lies to you about what other people think or feel about their relationship with you. It feeds your anxiety and depression, and usually sounds a lot like most of the critical influences of your early life. That's very different from a moral voice or what we call thrive talk, which actually does kind of motivate us to do better and make better decisions. So it's kind of a running commentary that interprets interactions and events in the ways that cause a good deal of pain and distress. But it's not always occurring at a conscious level. And so that's one of the things that Lindsay's going to help us with in a little bit, is how we access that inner voice when we're not really aware of what's going on. So can anyone tell me why we might have such a voice like that? Or is everybody muted?
I think folks are muted.
Is this a conversation thing?
It can be.
Patty told me this was going to be a conversation thing.
People can just unmute themselves and start talking.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Connor.
Did you want to be able to see more?
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I think this would be better.
Oh, yay. Okay. Anyone?
Hi. Yeah, I mean, I guess my understanding is sometimes they that voice sounds like people that have had an impact on me in the past, and so it's like a trained voice from the past, and I think usually that comes up for me as a form of protection, even though it maybe isn't framed in a helpful way.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. That's a great explanation. Also, someone mentioned our early experiences in life, such as how our parents talk to us. It's true. As children, how we are, when we're developing language for the first time, we use it to kind of regulate our emotions. And a lot of times we take that from the things that people are saying around us to create an image of ourselves. So is it possible that this voice can actually be adaptive and have a place? I see a little nodding. Anybody want to? Okay, so yeah, it's not always a bad thing. There's actually a reason that it's there. We do believe that it can keep us safe. A lot of times we think it's going to motivate us to improve. It can keep us protected from criticism from others, to create realistic expectations and prevent disappointment. And one of the big ones that I think we forget about a lot is an illusion of control. When we say things like, oh, I should have known better, we think, oh, I can prevent this from happening again next time. And sometimes we can't. Sometimes bad things happen. It has nothing to do with our self-worth. So one of the reasons that this voice evolved is, for many years, our people were kind of tribal, right? And we were very dependent on the tribe. And so we did need a voice to kind of keep us in check, to say, hey, does everybody else look like they're happy with what I'm doing? Am I pulling my own weight? Things like that. Things like if people weren't happy with us, we could get kicked out of the tribe, and that was really important for survival. So if our inner critical voice isn't all bad, what are we going to do about it? Anybody have any ideas on that one?
I can relate to the shoulds in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I had a teacher that once said you can should all over yourself. And I know I've worked a lot with that inner voice for myself, with kind of trying to take that language out of my inner dialogue. So I'm reframing things that I say to myself. Instead of I should have done X, Y, or Z, I might say to myself that, I didn't like how that event happened or my behavior, but I can work on myself in the future. I can learn from that. What am I able to be curious about what I'm saying to myself? And then maybe either think about my behavior, accept it, or make a change or process it, friends, family, and therapy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's not always the message itself that's bad. A lot of times it's the delivery that's not so kind. So one of the things we can do, and this is something that you've probably learned in meditation, is you can create a little space between you and the voice. Some research out of University of Michigan found that, so they took 89 participants and they said, hey, in 5 minutes, you're going to give a speech in front of everybody else. One of our favorite things to do, right? So half were told to use only pronouns to refer to themselves when they're preparing for the speech. And the other half was told to actually use their proper name. So like I would say Colleen. And the group that used their proper name actually had less anxiety about giving the speech. Their speeches were rated better, and they had more productive feedback for themselves after the speech and spent less time ruminating about it. So that's one thing that you can do. Another is to kind of add in information about what you're thinking. So broaden the lens. Again, this is another place where I find meditation to be really helpful, in that we step back and look at the whole picture instead of ruminating on this one particular thought. And so one thing that I like to do with the critical inner voice is to think about those 3 gates that we talk about. Has anyone ever heard about the 3 gates when you're talking about whether or not you're going to say something to someone? No, when we're going to say something to someone, is it truthful? Is it helpful? And is it kind? And those can apply to us as well. So I was thinking we could go through this example today. So if I'm going to say to myself, I am the worst volleyball player in the entire world. All right. Well, is that truthful? What's the source? What's the evidence? And who else would agree with this statement? Now, in this case, it's possible that that's true. I don't know that there's a competition for the worst volleyball player in the world, so I'm not sure exactly how I would test that. But I know that I'm not a great volleyball player. The evidence is when I was in junior high and I had to play volleyball and I kept hurting myself. But also, that was the only time I actually got an A in PE, because I kept going to the instructor. I kept asking what I was doing wrong. I kept trying to get better, and I actually got an A in PE. So maybe I'm not the worst volleyball player in the world. The second question would be, is it helpful? Is it helpful to tell myself that I'm the worst volleyball player in the whole world? Probably not, unless I'm trying to pursue a profession in professional volleyball. It's probably not all that helpful for me to tell myself that. Is this relevant information? Does it really matter? Or is it just making myself feel bad? Is it just challenging my self-worth? And what am I going to do with this information? The last one, is it kind? Is it kind to tell myself that I'm the worst volleyball player in the entire world? Probably not very kind. I wouldn't say it to anybody else. And this is where we use that reverse golden rule. If you wouldn't say it to a stranger on the street, it's too mean to say it to yourself. I would not tell anybody else you're the worst volleyball player in the entire world. So it's probably not something that I should say to myself. And then we go back to, well, is it motivational? Is it motivational for me to tell myself I'm the worst volleyball player in the entire world? Not really. It doesn't make me want to play volleyball. It doesn't make me want to get better at playing volleyball. It just makes me feel bad about myself. So remember that we may think that we need that inner critic to keep us motivated and to keep us humble. But if that was so motivating, why don't we go around talking to other people that way? Right? I wouldn't tell Lindsay, if I wanted her to get better at volleyball, you're the worst volleyball player in the whole world. No, I'd say, hey, if volleyball is really important to you, maybe you should get a coach or get somebody to work with you, or maybe you should have a plan B for your profession. There are nicer things to say that aren't going to make her feel so bad about herself than saying, you're the worst volleyball player in the world. So again, those gates are, is it truthful? Is it helpful? And is it kind? Now, what if you're not aware of your inner critic? What if you don't think you have one? Maybe you don't, but you'd be very rare. So meditation is a great way to determine the inner critic. When you're sitting there and you're trying to be quiet and that voice pops up, right? And what do we say with meditation? We want to be open, we want to be curious, we want to be non-judgmental. And I'm sitting there judging myself. You are the worst meditator in the world. You can't focus on your breath for 3 whole minutes, right? That little voice pops up again. So meditation's a great way to find that voice. Journaling is a great way to find that voice. Not everybody speaks actually in a running commentary. Sometimes they're just thoughts and they're subconscious. So you could try journaling, just kind of free writing and finding what you write. And then you can go back and look at that and say, wow, that's not true. That's not helpful. That's not kind. Would someone who cares about me say these things about myself? Probably not. Any questions about any of that? No, I saw somebody say no. I don't recognize what's happening. Sorry, some of these quotes are coming in just now. Maybe also recognize what is a rational thought versus something completely unrealistic. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about with the, is it true? Is this actually a true thought? And even if it is true, is there a kind, motivating way to say it that isn't so mean? All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, you can still speak up and ask questions. I'll be sitting here. Lindsay, do you want to start with the second part?
Yeah. Colleen, I think one just came in for you, actually, if you check the comments.
Yeah. What happens when sometimes something you need to hear may not necessarily be kind? How can you rephrase? That is a great point. I actually did have a list of things. So, like, for example, instead of saying, I'm not good enough, I could say, I am good enough, but sometimes I get overwhelmed when I have new challenges, and tomorrow things will get better. So it's not like I just kind of go, oh, I messed up, it's okay. It's looking at it from a more constructive, kind way of sharing it. So instead of saying, I'll never do what I want to do in my life, you could say, the only way I can achieve my dreams is by trying. I have more power than I realize. Instead of saying people don't like me, I could say I'm a kind, funny person and I will find amazing friends to spend my time with. It isn't ignoring the problem. It's just facing it from a constructive, kind way instead of a mean, hurtful way. Okay? Thank you. Great question. Anyone else? No? Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get a little closer.
Yeah, I want you to the screens.
Yeah.
See what we're.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Okay. How do I see myself? That would be. That would be useful.
That I know.
Well, that's right. So we're gonna jump into some drawing now. If you guys want to join, and we're gonna it's actually a nice practice because we're going to practice being kind while we draw. If you don't think you're an artist, that's okay. That's the great thing about art therapy is no one has to be an artist. You don't have to have any talent. But with art in particular, I think sometimes we do really say mean things to ourselves, or we say we can't do this, we're not good enough, or I haven't drawn since I was a kid. But we're gonna try and work with it and be kind and bring up some of that compassion. And I'm gonna have an example of my angry bird, if you can see it. This is just actually came from a scribble that I did, and I'm going to show you guys a little scribble drawing if you aren't feeling super artistic today and just want to be playful. But the idea is to imagine what your inner critic looks like. And that also can be writing. If you want to do some writing, that's perfectly acceptable. And you might be able to identify something that you're saying to yourself that's been repetitive. And then you can ask those questions, use those 3 gates that Colleen was just talking about, and maybe write a little bit about that. So we're going to kind of challenge that inner critic, and we're going to have a little dialogue with it. And as I said, have fun with creating maybe a character like my angry bird that I just showed you, or it can be completely abstract. But really getting in touch with this idea of what this little, maybe, you've heard of the idea of like a little devil and a little angel on your shoulders. It could be something like that. But yeah, being playful. We want to take it out of us, get a different perspective, and look at it similarly to how you would talk to a friend. And when we take things, out of in a different perspective, in a different light, then often it doesn't seem as harsh, or it's not as powerful anymore. So I hope that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Are folks ready with art materials? Maybe I can get some thumbs up, or
if I actually show you people.
Oh yeah, where'd they go? There we go. Is anyone going to join us in drawing today? Yes. Oh, I see a nod. Yay. Fantastic. Any questions about this part of the process? Here we go. Oh, great.
Yay.
Fantastic.
Oh, good, Connor. Thank you. All right. Sorry, I'm still messing with her screen. Oh, see, we still just get Connor. There you are. Nope, that's not what we want. Okay, I think I'm making it worse, so I'm going to stop.
Spotlight. You may have pinned me.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah, I know. I keep
trying to in the middle and click the pin.
Yeah, unpin. Okay.
And then how do we get the screen to see me? So I was going to do an example and draw.
So there's 3 dots in the white bar at the side on the bottom.
And then
click
we get
that.
Yeah.
Click change layout.
Yep.
Click on that and then pick something else like spotlight.
Yeah, it just shows your beautiful face.
And we get gorgeous Connor.
Aw.
You can just draw me then.
Okay.
Aw.
I don't know.
My inner critic looks like Connor today.
You can also just find your own tile and pin yourself.
Oh, let's do that. Oh yeah, if you go up to the top. Oh, look
at
it. Okay. That's exciting.
I'm going to go away then.
Well, I'm going to actually, this is what I've done before in Zoom. Hopefully you can see my lovely white palette. And I'm actually going to just do an example of join me, please. A scribble draw. And you can pick, I got some chalk pastels today and some oil pastels. And so this is a nice warm up, especially if you're not feeling particularly creative. We're just going to do 30 seconds of scribbling, and that just looks something like this. Don't think too much about it. You can change colors if you want. What am I feeling? I've got green and blue going on. And just kind of fill up the page so that you have a scribble. And this is the greatest thing. Like, you can't criticize a scribble because you can't mess it up. And then from here, I'm actually going to look at it kind of like when I'm a kid and or when we're all kids, we're getting in touch with our inner child right now. So when you're looking up at the sky and you see the clouds and you might see an image from those clouds, that's what I want you to do with your scribble if this is what you've done. And you can turn it around and look at it from different angles. If anything pops out at you, it might just be a shape. I see a figure 8 right now. I see some glasses. I see a face. It's starting to turn into a face. I think my inner critic is coming to face me. But yeah, this is like just a really fun way to draw so that there's no pressure. And I know I'll be upside down, but I see some glasses right here. So I'm gonna start making a face out of that and create my new inner critic. Let's see, what do I have to do? So I'm just developing the image that I see. So I see these look like glasses to me. So I'm gonna outline them. And then I'm gonna make a nose. Maybe purple nose. Kind of looking like an owl. I have birds on my brain.
This is the fun part.
The fun part, yes, is getting messy. Definitely. And you know, speaking of meditation, art can be very meditative and cathartic.
Good point.
As well, yeah. Kind of helps us detach a little. Studies actually show that creating art for 45 minutes reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. So that can be a good, you know, something like this, a warm up actually before you sit down to meditate. You're kind of grounding, getting into your body, and then you might be able to pay a little more attention to what your inner critic is saying.
Mm-hmm.
My inner critic has a big mouth. Yeah. Change that up a little. Put some brown. No, that's not gonna work. Making it work. There we go. Now that's like eyes. We're definitely having fun over here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And again, it's like, notice if anything comes up. If you're telling yourself, I can't do this, I can't draw, or, oh, this doesn't look good.
This looks like garbage.
Right. That's all inner critic coming out. And is that helpful? Is it kind? Oh, man. Buck teeth. Maybe we'll do another, maybe about 8 minutes. We'll go with 8 minutes. I feel like that's a good amount of time. Is that a long time? 5 to 8 minutes. I hear Connor.
You're very loose with time, Lindsay.
I have a hard time with time as a construct. It's very, yes. I don't know. It's all relative to me. That's actually one of my inner critic voices because I don't pay attention to the time very much. I can be harsh with myself. So I like to leave it loose.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to put a time constraint on creativity.
Yeah. Our teeth. What else do I have? So now I have this lovely Inner Critic. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep kind of coloring this in just because it's fun, and maybe I'll let folks. Oh, I see. There's a message. Let's read it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. How is the drawing going, guys? Anyone have any thoughts or want to share? I like to say you can share one thing about your process or your piece. So if you feel comfortable at any point at the end of sharing the image itself, you can just show it, or you can talk a little bit about what it's been like for you. You don't even have to show it. We want a safe space, free of judgment, because we all know we're so much kinder to everyone else than ourselves. And I'm going to make Colleen share hers. Yeah. That's about right. Actually. It's like a green monster.
Oh. Envy?
Totally. Yeah. Jealousy, envy. What is my inner critic envious of? It's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm. Nice eyelashes.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, it reminds me of what is that movie? About emotions. It's a Disney one. Thank you. Inside Out. It's just like the green one, the envy, disgust.
Disgust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I see that?
Oh, here we go. Are we supposed to draw a face? It is totally up to you. You don't have to. That's just kind of what came up for me in my scribble. But it can be completely abstract. It can be words too, if you feel like writing is more helpful. Oh, okay. I would say it's easier for me to draw a critic in my scribble than it is to create something beautiful out of it. That's interesting. Yeah, I can relate. Definitely. Mm-hmm. There's less pressure, right? And again, we're getting it out. So it's like you're looking at that inner critic and it's your subconscious. And
right.
What would you want to say to your inner critic? What would you ask this picture? Or would you maybe use those 3 questions again? Are you being truthful to me? Are you being helpful? And are you being kind? You don't look very kind.
No, yours doesn't look very kind.
It does not. I'll show this again. Not very nice.
Do you want to see if people want to
share
what they did?
Yeah. It's been about 5 minutes, right? Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, right on.
Oh, Karen, we go. That's so cool.
Awesome. Wow. Oh, I love it, you guys.
Nice.
Yay. Ooh, that was great. Oh, wow. Oh, Amy, those bright colors. This is cool. Oh, there's the face. Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. Does anyone want to share a little bit about their process or their piece? I love that you're showing us. Does anyone want to say a few words about what that was like? Or
This is Karen. I'll say something about this.
yeah.
I do believe that I do a lot of drawing, actually, a lot of cartooning, and sometimes they're abstract like this one, and sometimes they're not. But I think that lately, the last year or two, I have, because of neurological problems, I have limited range of emotions. And I think that this is showing me some of the emotions that are actually there that I may not even be able to access or be aware of. That's just how I took this drawing.
Wow. That's very powerful. Wow.
So to me, it looks all the sharp angles and lots of anger and sadness. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And is any of those feelings coming up for you while you're talking about it or as you were creating it?
No.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So it was really outside of you. That's wonderful.
It is. It's internal. I don't have a lot of access to a wide range of emotions right now because of my neurological problems. So, but I can see that it's there.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just a matter of time, I believe, till I get back there.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else? Oh, Susan, I see a face.
It's Greg. I'll try and share my screen since Colin shared his. So let's see if you can see my drawing here. I did it electronically. So we'll see what comes up here. And here we go. Can you see that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
So, since Connor showed us his, there's mine there.
Does anything come up for you, or even a title? Sometimes it's fun to title our work. Would you give them?
No, I kind of went, I started with figure eights under there like you had, which I thought was interesting. And so I just kind of followed your guidance, right? It ended up with some glass frames there, it looks like. And then I noticed that we both had some teeth there, so I'm not sure. And of course, mine has hair, likely because I don't have hair. So of course, it's better than me, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you.
It's better, right?
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is really neat to be able to do that digitally. I love it. Yeah, there is some resemblance, and we pick up from each other's energy as well, even over these devices in our little boxes.
Yeah, that seems like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hello. I was while you were doing your talk on inner critics, I was kind of thinking, maybe you don't know this, but maybe others on the call do, the similarities between the inner critic and the Maras, and looking at Maras, it's supposed to symbolize impurities or thoughts or stuff that take us off our spiritual path. And so really, I don't know if there's similarities between the inner critic and the Maras. I don't know if anybody has thoughts about that.
Great question.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the term Mara, but I would say there's definitely similarities between our inner critic and our ego, right? That concept of the mask that we put up to protect ourselves, or the lens that we view ourselves with in order to keep us safe.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
I have something to ask. I don't know what mine is. What does that mean?
That's, first of all, that's okay.
Yes.
What comes up when you look at yours?
Well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm sunburned.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was on a lake a couple days ago and I got really, really sunburned. So maybe that's what it is. I'm kind of feeling that physically.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of vibrating. What kind of affect would you get, or like, so a feeling state when you look at it? What does, when just like off the top of your head when you look at it right now?
Yeah, I know. That's a good question. Looks like the sun. It looks warm. I guess I kind of feel warm when I look at it. It's not like angry, it's not like fire, it's not, I don't feel angry about it. I just feel, I guess, kind of warm.
Yeah, absolutely. I see a face and I see some angel wings almost.
I see a leaf, a dove in the middle, and a squirrel on the right. I don't know, but
a squirrel.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see the leaf actually.
Yeah, a leaf, a dove, and a squirrel. And then there's some spirits and energy up and around those animals as well. With those eyeballs and those eyebrows that I'm seeing, they're kind of protecting and creating that energy and surrounding them in light.
Yeah, I feel like it's protectors coming out. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Very cool.
I'll share mine if nobody else wants to go right now. I thought this was very interesting, Lindsay. That was very cool. Mine, I guess you can kind of see that. Mine kind of looks like a scared child to me. And it makes me wonder, like, if my inner critic is just, scared for me. And worried that I'm not going to be able to protect myself. And so sometimes when I'm talking to her, I need to say, hey, it's okay. We got this. I'm all right. It's okay. Thanks for warning me. I'm good.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of fairy tale like.
Yeah, but she looks really sad, doesn't she? Just a little bit sad.
Yeah. Aw, that's lovely. Would you give her a title? Or does she have a name?
Well, I don't know. Sad little girl? Is that
totally? Yeah. And what does she need? I know you talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think she needs that validation that I'm talking about, of that reassurance that it's okay, that she's safe, and then it's going to be all right. That I'm paying attention.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, gives me warm fuzzies. All right, here we are, nice and big, looking at our faces. It's really funny.
It's fuzzy, at least. There's like a filter.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I figured out how to turn my camera around so I could show mine. Sorry, I didn't know how to do that.
That's okay.
I have mine, and to me it looks like very authoritarian and scary, and like a serpent in a way. I guess it to me felt like something outside of me, like it lives somewhere else, like in the ocean or in the water, somewhere that's always just kind of lingering, which is what it kind of felt like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to name yours?
I could think about a name. I don't know what comes to mind.
That's okay. It doesn't.
How about Serpentina?
Oh, okay. Good one. And what does Serpentina need?
Love.
Yeah.
And assurance.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We all need a little extra love and assurance right now, I think.
Yeah.
And we have someone mentioned she's a mermaid. Do you see a mermaid? Oops.
Yeah, like a mermaid serpent kind of
under the sea.
Floating around, just kind of there. And you never know when she'll pop up.
Right. Very cool. Thank you so much. I don't know how, we have to get back to unpin her. Oh, unpin, right. I just go like that. Sure.
Yay. Okay.
Anyone else want to share anything about their process or piece, or just any comments on
Yeah, comments, questions, anecdotes.
recipes?
I think if I was to draw it over again, I would do it more as a thin veneer of red that actually is not as thick as who I really am, but somehow it always dominates. But it's really not that substantial, but it just is red energy that just keeps coming down.
Nice, thank you. Yeah. Is there any way to contain that red energy, I wonder? That can be
Mostly, if you look at everything else that's there, it's so thin that it's not even relevant. It kind of just slowly floats away.
Nice.
Compared to, let's say, what you get from a real meditative experience. Something that's a lot deeper. Nice. Sort of like the surface of the earth versus everything else in the planet, which is, so much more.
Right. I like that. And the fading, I can kind of picture that too. Like it's not as important, or it's not as much on the forefront. It doesn't have to be. If I understand.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, Doug. Anyone else?
I thought that was really neat the way you ask it what it needs, rather than this critical voice just being something that's bad that we need to ignore or get rid of. Recognizing it as an underlying need that we're able to address and meet.
Yeah. Kind of making friends with it. Is that okay, Susan, if I share what you are texting? I want to be thoughtful. Yes. Oh, great. Wonderful. So Susan mentioned being an artist. I ended up doing a harsh self-portrait. First time I've ever done one from memory. So that was interesting. Yeah. I can relate. I've done that one as well. That's an interesting exercise in particular. Just if you want to go into this a bit more to really create a self-portrait, it might give you an idea of how you're feeling, how your self-esteem is. Oh, and you're sharing. Wonderful. What do you feel is harsh about it?
I don't know if she can.
I don't know if Susan can hear me, but yeah, I think that makes sense, especially when being an artist, we tend to be overly perfectionistic. And we are, again, our own worst critic.
All right, well, so it's about 12 o'clock, and I think we need to thank Lindsay and Colleen for joining us today. Do we have any last questions?
I just, to kind of follow back up with Susan here, she said, I made angry because my self-critic is not kind. Yep, that makes sense. I hope this was cathartic for you, Susan.
Yeah, this has been a great exercise. You guys should definitely come back. Yeah, Amy wants to do it again. Yeah, we can totally do this again. Thank you.
Awesome.
So, wow, yeah, some more great comments coming up. I think what we're going to do now is long life prayer for Dalai Lama. And Matthew has agreed to do that. Matthew, do you still want to do that? Did we lose Matthew?
No, I do. I just had Windows open, so I couldn't unmute myself.
That's okay. All right.
All right.
So if you want to put that up, and I'm going to mute myself again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll do prayers for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech. May all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. In the land encircled by snow mountains.
Matthew?
I see that's a footnote, excuse me.
Yeah, start on page 7.
Just go to page 7?
Just go to page 7, yeah, because these are 2 other versions of the prayer.
Thanks, Connor. Excuse me, everyone.
It's okay.
The Song of Immortality?
Yep. Wait, go back. Yep.
We'll go
Wait, you're going too far down. There you go.
And I'll read from here to the end?
Yeah.
To the assembly of most kind teachers, both present and past, the miraculous dance of the body, speech, and mind of innumerable Buddhas, manifesting in accordance with aspirants' spiritual capacities, the wish-granting jewel, the source of all virtue and goodness. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of all meditational deities, manifesting as countless mandalas and divinities, the magical clouds of immaculate transcendent wisdom, reaching to the farthest expanse of the space of ultimate reality. To you, we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all the victorious Buddhas of the 3 times, endowed with 10 powers, and who are even masters of the gods, and whose attributes of perfection are the source of all compassionate deeds, benefiting the vast ocean-like realm of sentient beings. To you, we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of sacred doctrine embodied in the 3 vehicles, supremely serene, a jewel treasure of enlightenment, stainless, unchanging, eternally good, and the glory of all virtues, which actually liberates beings from the sufferings of the 3 worlds. To you, we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all members of the enlightening, noble spiritual community, who never stray from the thoroughly liberating adamantine city, who possess the wisdom eye that directly sees the profound truth, and the highest valor to destroy all machinations of cyclic existence. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of heroes and dakinis, heavenly beings of the 3 worlds, who appear in the highest paradises, in the sacred places, and in the cremation grounds, and who, through creative play and the hundredfold experiences of bliss and emptiness, support practitioners in their meditation on the excellent path. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the ocean of protectors endowed with the eyes of transcendent wisdom, the powerful guardians and upholders of the teaching, who wear inseparably on their matted locks the knot symbolizing their pledge to the Vajra holder. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings, so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. Thus, to this congregation of excellent, undeceiving refuge, we pray that by the power of this prayer, expressed from a heart filled with fervent devotion and humility, may the body, speech, and mind of the sole savior of the land of snows, the supreme now Wong Lo Song Tenzin Gyatso, be indestructible, unfluctuating, and unceasing. May he live for 100 eons, seated on a diamond throne, transcending decay and destruction. You are the jewel heart embodying all compassionate, beneficial deeds. O most courageous one, you carry on your shoulders the burden of all the Buddhas of the infinite realms. May all your noble aspirations be fulfilled as intended. By virtue of this, may the heavenly doors of the fortunate era open, eternally as a source of relief and respite for all beings, and may the auspicious signs reach the apex of existence and release, as the sacred teachings flourish through all times and in all realms. May the nectar stream of the blessing of the lotus holder always enter our hearts and nourish them with strength. May we please you with offerings of dedicated practice, and may we reach beyond the shores of perfect compassionate deeds. Through the blessings of the wondrous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by the infallible truth of the laws of dependent origination, and by the purity of our fervent aspirations, may the aims of our prayer be fulfilled without hindrance.
So do you want to go into dedication, closing prayers, and then the prayer that saves Sakya?
Sounds good. Get this up.
So while you say that, that's okay. That long life prayer was actually written by the Dalai Lama's tutors, Inner Critic and I'm blanking on the name of his other tutors. Let me pull it up. Thupten Jinpa. Or no, Trailing Rinpoche. Sorry.
Okay, I can put up the dedication now. Okay. Sorry, I froze. There we go. Dedication. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. May the teachings of the Buddha flourish, and may the upholders of the teachings remain forever. May all the migrators achieve happiness, and may they fulfill all their temporary and ultimate goals. Losong, magical display of the deep awareness of all the victorious ones. Merciful giver of a stream of profound and vast instructions to the fortunate migrators. please remain always unperishing, unchanging, unfading. Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of objectless compassion. Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom. Vajrapani, destroyer of the entire host of Maras. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the Snowy Land sages. Losang Dragpa, I make request at your holy feet. Is it sharing now?
Yeah, you're sharing.
I'm sharing the right prayer.
Yep.
Okay, good. The verses that save Sakya from sickness, a prayer for pacifying the fear of disease. May all the diseases that disturb the minds of sentient beings and which result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of spirits, illness, and the elements, never occur throughout realms of this world. May whatever sufferings arise due to life-threatening diseases, which like a butcher leading an animal to the slaughter, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, never occur throughout the realms of this world. May all embodied beings remain unharmed by acute, chronic, and infectious diseases, the mere names of which can inspire the same terror as would be felt in the jaws of Yama, Lord of Death. May the 80,000 classes of harmful obstructors, the 360 evil spirits that harm without warning, the 404 types of disease, and so forth, never cause harm to any embodied being. May whatever suffering arise due to disturbances in the four elements deprive the body and mind of every pleasure, be totally pacified, and may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dakinis, dharma protectors and guardians, and by the strength of the infallibility of karma and its results, may these many dedications and prayers be fulfilled as soon as they are made. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and happy birthday, Dalai Lama, tomorrow. Make sure you check the Dalai Lama's website. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. I think, I want to say this 15th, 16th, and 17th of this month, he's doing teachings online. So make sure you check out that. We have a lot of interesting stuff coming up at Lions Roar this month. And Lamala's birthday celebration is next week on the 12th. So make sure you keep doing mantras and turn those in by 4 p.m. on the 10th to Deb Dietz. Not sure I have any other major announcements right now. Does anyone have any other announcements?
I have a question. Is Lama speaking tomorrow, or are we doing Virtual Lamsal tomorrow?
I don't have an answer. It's the first Monday of the month, so it is Bartram Lamsal.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
For accumulating the mantras.
Yes. So come tomorrow and accumulate more mantras. Last I heard, as of last Wednesday, we had over 600,000. So please come, do more. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Interesting tidbits? Funny stories? Song and dance? No? I gotta wait until you all go, so, you know, you can entertain me or you can not. Oh, someone's whistling. No?
Bye.
Bye, Connor. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Connor.
Good to see
Hello.
you.
See you later, alligators. Okay, I'm actually leaving now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna text you.
All right.